Good morning. Your full body workout for Thursday, April 23rd. It's a bunch of burpees or mountain climbers, I'll let you decide, and deadlift high pulls. Regardless if you pick burpees or mountain climbers, that combination with deadlift high pulls it's going to hurt a lot. And so I don't say that to scare you, I just say that to prepare you, to warn you for what's about to come. So how this is going to go is you will do, it's a total of 5 rounds, but they're for specific amounts of time. You will do, you start off with the burpees, you're going to do 5 to 10 burpees. Then, 5 to 10 burpees or 20 mountain climbers. Then you'll do 5 to 10 deadlift high pulls. And you're just going to keep doing as many of that little couplet, those 2 exercises, as much as you can do in a 5-minute period. Then you're going to rest for 1 minute. Then you're going to do it for 4 minutes. Then you're going to rest for a minute, do it for 3 minutes, rest for a minute, 2 minutes, rest for a minute, and then finally do it for 1 minute. So let me go through and demonstrate everything for you, and then we'll show you part 2, which is going to be some accessories, some bodybuilding type movements. I've gotten some feedback from folks that they are enjoying some of the bodybuilding type movements, which are like the raises, front raises, lateral raises, upright rows, the curls, things like that. Then again, more of the bodybuilding type stuff. So, getting into it with our burpees, we've done these a bunch, but just to demonstrate again, all the different varieties that we can do where we can do jumping back. We can walk it back. We can jump back without going down to the ground. We can walk it back without going down to the ground. We can do, basically all of that from the chair or some object, a couch or some side of a couch, side of a bed. If you're using a chair, make sure that it's secure against the wall. I don't want you to be doing the burpees and for the chair to be sliding out from you, okay? That's bad news. So if we're using the chair, hands down, I'll either jump back and jump forward, or jump back, do my push-up, jump forward, or I can, of course, walk it back, all right? So you're either gonna do the burpees, 5 to 10, or 20 mountain climbers. So that'll be 10 per leg, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all right? And you're just gonna go up to 20. Of course, we can also do those here off of the chair, all right? So once you've completed your first set of 5 to 10 burpees, then you're going to do deadlift high pulls. Everybody's going to do deadlift high pulls, and we're going to do 5 to 10 repetitions of that. So depending on what equipment you have, we can do these a whole bunch of different ways, right? If you've got kettlebells or dumbbells, it's nice and simple. I could do this I've got a pair of kettlebells here. This might also be a pair of dumbbells. So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate all of the different tools, all the different pieces of equipment that we can use, and then we'll go over some of the details. All right? So I'm going to go with a slightly wider stance and perform my deadlift high pulls. Okay? Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi.
From the side. Okay? I could do, like we do a lot in class, I could do with just a single kettlebell. Okay? I can do, if you've been using water jugs, we can use the water jugs. In the same way, take that wider stance and perform those deadlift high pulls. Right? I can use, if you've been using like a larger water jug, is a little bit more awkward, but it's definitely doable. All right. You'll notice obviously that with that larger object, my range of motion is going to be reduced. That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just a matter of making sure we hit all the right positions. And again, we'll go over that here in a second. I can use, some other odd objects using the rock. Oh, hit yourself in the chin. Okay. And finally, I got a milk crate full of rocks. So again, all those different variations, all those different pieces of equipment to perform the same exercise. Now, just to go over the details of it, just going to be using this kettlebell here as my piece to demonstrate with. Setting up in that deadlift position. Ideally, we want that piece of equipment, whatever it is, underneath our center of gravity, right? So that line of pull, this thing dropping straight down, is lined up right underneath my center of gravity, so that from a safety, efficiency standpoint, strength standpoint, everything is lined up real nice. Making sure my hips are down and back and below my shoulders, and I've got about this 45-degree angle in my position right here. Feet are flat, knees are out just a little bit, shoulders are slightly in front of the object that I'm picking up. All right, pulling my shoulders down and back. Standing, coming to this full extension position, so hips extended, butt squeezed. My arms do not go. My arms don't go until I fit this position. So we don't want to be standing, get to this position, and start to pull, and then finish with that standing, the hip extension, and that butt squeezing position. No. We want to make sure that we stand and squeeze, and then come to that pull position. If you're finding that your timing is a little off, just break it into pieces, right? So 1, 2. So it's just the legs, just the arms. Then just the arms down, just the legs down. Just the legs up, just the arms up, arms down, legs down, and continue. And then as you get into this a little bit more quickly, you're gonna feel your butt really, boom, squeezing nice and hard before I make that pull with my arms. Range of motion, getting as deep as we can, right? So if I'm able to, I will take this object all the way down to the ground, okay? If I can't for whatever reason, I'm just gonna go to my knees, my shins, wherever the case might be. Let's try to get to at least our knees, and not any higher, so not necessarily from this position, but from the knees, the shins, the ground, one of those positions as far as how deep you're going. And one other thing to think about, again, the difference between like my deadlift setup, I set up in that deadlift and I'm going to, similar to the squat but different, so I'm going to sit my hips back further and my torso is going to be more at a 45-degree angle when I'm down in that bottom position, as opposed to a squat where I'm going to have a more vertical position. So squat, deadlift, squat, deadlift. All right. So again, with that deadlift position, I have more of that 45-degree angle and my hips are further back. With that squat position, my torso is more vertical and my hip and my butt are underneath everything just a little bit more. So yeah, again, you're going to do 5 to 10 burpees or 20 mountain climbers, and 5 to 10 deadlift high pulls. You're going to do as many rounds as you can do in 5 minutes. Then you're going to rest for a minute. As many rounds as you can do in 4 minutes. Rest for a minute. Then 3 minutes. Rest for a minute. 2 minutes. Rest for a minute. 1 minute, and then you're done. Then you're going to recover for as long as you can, or as long as necessary, before you go on to part number 2, which is going to be that bodybuilding part. Now for me, I was just smoked, absolutely gassed after doing this burpee and deadlift high pull portion. I probably laid on the ground for 10 minutes. All right, so do what you need to do, rest, for as long as you need to rest before you go into part number 2. So part number 2 is going to be coffin presses, front raises, and curls. You're going to do 3, 4, or 5 sets, and you're going to do 10 repetitions of each. And you're going to rest for about a minute after you've done 10 repetitions of each. So I'll just demonstrate with a couple of pieces here. So I can start with those water jugs. So I'll start with my hands here, right here at chest level, and I'm going to press up just a little bit, 10 repetitions. Then arms straight down here in front, and I'm going to lift up 10 times. Then I'm going to do 10 curls. Okay. So once I've done 10 of each, then I rest for a minute, and then I do it again and again until I've done 3, 4, or 5 sets. All right. Now, let's say that you have, say you've got a pair of dumbbells, but they're too heavy to do one in each hand. Well, I can just do a dumbbell, right? And this could also be a rock. So same thing, I'll do my presses, I'll do my front raises, and then I'll do my curls. All right. And just to demonstrate with one more odd object is the milk crate. All right. So again, hold here, press, one, okay, and then the front raises, and then the curls. So I think that about wraps it up. Check the details check the description for all the details of both parts A and B. And yeah, have a lot of time. Expect that part A is gonna hurt. Push so that it does hurt. And yeah, have fun with it. See you guys next time.